All right, fight fans, buckle up. Today we have a storm brewing in the mountains of North Carolina. He's 21 and calm like a monk, but deadly like the guillotine. A future problem in MMA, trained by UFC legend and MMA royalty Spencer the King Fisher. He's not a trash talker, but tomorrow he'll be making his MMA debut with Aries Fight Championship, and he's taking his time to talk with us today. So everyone, let's go to the other side with Adam Cotterman. How's it going, Adam?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, sir. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I want to know, what's the very first thing you ever remember fighting for?
The very first thing I ever remember fighting for,
It could be anything. It could be a
probably
toy
like
at preschool.
literally a spot in line in like
Okay.
third grade. This is like when I got my first physical altercation with
What
someone
was it
else.
over?
Oh my lord, it's so stupid.
Everything's stupid in
This
third grade. It doesn't matter.
Me and my one friend, we were standing in line, and then this other kid, he was like a teacher's student, or
Hmm.
not a teacher's child. Like he was a
Okay.
child of the teacher, so he got school privileges. And he just like cut in front of us in line one day, and me and him, Philip initially, the other kid, or I don't mean to name drop, but
That's okay.
his he grabs the teacher's kid and he just starts like telling him, hey, you don't skip, you don't do this, blah blah
Hmm.
blah, like this is my spot in line. And then they start like shoving each other and whatnot. So I went up to him, I was like, hey, like cut it out, guys, there ain't no
Hmm.
point in it. And then the teacher's kid shoved me to the ground. And from there on out, I was just like, all right, this kid, he's getting beat up. So I ran him into the wall and was like holding him and pinning him up against the wall. This isn't good at all. Like, I'm not proud of it. But and then the other kid came up and started punching him and beating him while I have him pinned against the wall. And then we just drop him and we quit because like we got our spots in line back. And so
Did
at
you
the
lose them
end of
again after that? No.
no, we didn't. What's funny about that though is I had went and snitched on myself and got us all in trouble because
Aw.
I thought the teacher student was gonna tell on us and make it seem like a bad thing. And I was trying to go clear my name, right? I was gonna
Hmm.
be like, hey, look, I tried to break this fight up and then the kids shoved me and I defended myself.
Hmm.
And then they completely flipped it on us. They said we ganged up on this kid for no reason.
Oh, I lost you for a minute, it looks like.
But and then I got in trouble.
Gotcha.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. We froze up for just a second. Um, let's see, Silva, North Carolina. What's life like for a kid growing up in a place that most people can't even find on a map?
I cut up there, I think. But what did you say?
There you are. Um, growing up in Silva, North Carolina, what's life like growing up somewhere that most people can't even find on a map?
It can be pretty boring. So like that's how we end up getting in trouble and stuff is because of the boredom. So like we'll go and do things
Hunting,
and
fishing, and then all the stuff you're not supposed to.
yeah, and then all the things you aren't supposed to. But it's not so bad, you know. It's very peaceful, and we have jujitsu and stuff like that. And you can. It's a pretty surrounded place, so like nowhere's too far to go if you want to do
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
But it can be a little crazy because it's a small town, and like in all the small towns surrounding it, everyone knows one another. So that's basically how it is.
In elementary school, coming up, were you the quiet kid in the corner, or were you the class clown?
I was a class clown in elementary school.
You wanted the attention.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily wanted the attention, but I would get it somehow. So I probably did want it.
If you couldn't get it a good way, did you try and get it any way you could? That's how my parents described me growing up. They said I'd go
I
for bad
didn't
attention if I couldn't get good attention.
Honestly, I feel like I wasn't trying to get attention. I just was like a troublemaker. Like I just enjoyed
Gotcha.
like the like I
Seeing
thought it
what you
was
could get away
funny.
with.
Yeah, like I thought it was funny seeing what I could get away with if I could. It's not right, and
You
I'm
got
not
joy
proud
out of
of it.
being
But
sneaky.
yeah, or not really
Okay.
sneaky, but just defiant, just being defiant. Like if I could
Gotcha.
argue with you, I'd argue with you. If you were going to tell me something, I would do the opposite. Like I want to do it my way, which isn't correct, and I've learned fortunately since then. But
All right. In high school, I know you got pretty serious with wrestling. What made you focus on wrestling more than, say, team sports?
because I never really seen the point of like team sports, like putting a ball in a basket or running from field to field. It never made much sense to me. It did when I was younger. I used to play baseball, but
Hmm.
then as I grew older, it didn't click to me anymore. I played soccer my senior year just to
Okay,
stay in shape for wrestling,
that makes
but
sense.
uh, what made me really commit to wrestling was I just loved it. Like when I started in seventh grade, it seemed like I didn't like it, but I did. I just wasn't good at it. And then as I progressed and kept like noticing like I'm hitting these techniques, I'm getting stronger, then I just started taking it more serious because I didn't ever think I would ever be good at anything, you know? And then I was pretty okay at wrestling.
Where does the idea that you're never going to be good at something come from?
I don't know. I just always kind of thought like that growing up. Like I was always called like stupid and stuff in school. I guess because I was misbehaving, and I never had like the best grades or nothing like that. And then wrestling like taught me how to put effort into things. It taught me how to like apply myself. And then my
Hard work
grades
pays
started
off.
to improve. Yeah, and then like everything with wrestling improved. Like without wrestling, I don't know where I would be right now. Is how I see it.
That's awesome. Okay. Do you remember your first wrestling win and how did that match play out?
My first wrestling win was against my teammate
Okay. Tell
because
me
we
about that.
didn't. I wasn't any good, and I didn't start in seventh grade. So we were wrestling at some other school,
Okay.
and they didn't have a match for me on that team. So we just made a match between another one of my teammates,
All right.
and I think I ended up pinning that kid. But I can tell you my first loss is a lot funnier.
Okay. Let's hear about that one.
we were we went to this. I think it's called the Middle School Jamboree. It's in Cherokee. Is
Hmm.
where they have it, and it's like a big middle school tournament. Like they're just trying to get everyone 5 matches. Everyone try to get them the max matches they can, just so
Hmm.
that everyone can improve. And my first match, I think this was my second match ever. It was this really tall woman or girl. She was super tall, and I remember thinking like, I cannot lose to a girl. I can't get out wrestled by a girl. And I went out there and she pinned me in like 20 seconds. And I got up
Nice.
and I got up and I was like thoroughly disappointed with myself. But my teammates, a couple of them, they're like, "You lost to a girl," and then one of them who was really good, he was one of the really athletic kids from middle
Hmm.
school. He told me like, "It's all right. You just gotta keep coming to practice, and it'll be all good." And so I stuck with it. But
That's
I didn't
awesome.
expect to lose to a woman. It was very humbling.
Hey, that's how you learn, man. All right. Let's see. As a teenager, like most did, I'm sure at times confidence was something that was a struggle for you. How did those wrestling mats help to improve your confidence?
Oh, it helped a lot, especially going in towards like my senior and junior year.
Hmm.
It made me be like a more calm person rather than like super everywhere because there ain't no reason to be like that, is how I started thinking. Like, conserve your energy and don't be so
Wrestling help with
rambunctious.
patience.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. I'm
Okay.
still impatient sometimes, but
We all are, man.
working on that.
Okay. Um, how much of that grind from wrestling is still in you today?
Oh, I use the wrestling mindset every day.
Okay.
Like I never like to be complacent with like where I'm at, for example. So
Hmm.
for this fight, I'm always thinking like how I can train different, how I can train harder, and I always question if I trained hard enough, and like, and if I didn't, like, why didn't I? Why didn't I put in that
Right.
effort? And why do I have something left after practice when I should be exhausted? Because
Right.
at the end of every wrestling practice, I was beat up, exhausted. I made sure I was. And so now and today, say I'm at work, I'm thinking like, how can I become more efficient at cooking this dish? How can I become more efficient at throwing this punch and stuff like that?
You compete against yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that definitely. Okay. Tell me about the moment that you said to yourself, "I'm going to do MMA." How did that come about?
Uh, I want to say I'm not too sure exactly how it came about, but I remember
Were you watching some UFC and you said, "Holy crap, that looks like fun"?
that's probably one of them. But
Okay.
when I went to jujitsu the first time, because one of my friends, Graham, had told me you need to do jujitsu once you get out of high school. Like it doesn't matter what you do, you just need to do
Hmm.
jujitsu. Show up to jujitsu one day. And I was really bored one day, like extremely bored. And I was just like going around looking for things to do. Like I had an apartment and I just cleaned my apartment and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to my nanny's and say what's up. And I went and
Hmm.
cleaned her trailer and then I was sitting there and bored out of my mind again. And I was like, it's only 4:30, like there's just 8 hours left in the day. I gotta do something.
Hmm.
And so I remembered my friend said something about jujitsu. So I called uh Spencer's gym, and his wife picked up the phone, and they told me to come on out, and I was hooked. I was hooked. And then eventually, one day, Spencer looked at me and said, "You need to fight." And I didn't think anything of it, but growing up, I'd always liked fighting, and I'd always
Hmm.
like I did enjoy fighting growing up, even if I got beat up. Like I don't know what it is about it, the fight that I do enjoy. It's just fun.
Did you
It's
already know about Spencer when you called that gym?
I had heard about Spencer because
Okay.
he's the town celebrity.
Okay.
But apparent
If there had been another gym in town, would you have called that gym also, or was it because Spencer was there?
I probably would have just tried to find a jujitsu gym, is what
Okay.
would have happened. I would have tried to find a jujitsu gym, which I'm glad I called the right one because there's a couple around that aren't as
Hmm.
good,
Okay.
but I found the right one, fortunately. And uh, he told me at a jujitsu class I needed to fight one day. And so then my friend, he wasn't super interested in jujitsu, so we started going to kickboxing every now and then. And he taught us like how to throw a spinning elbow, and I was like, spinning elbow on the first day, this is crazy. Like I probably looked like an idiot throwing the 1-2, but it felt good throwing that spinning elbow.
Yeah.
And after that,
Probably
me
helped
and
to
my
get you to come back for the second time too.
yeah, exactly. He knows how to hook. He knows how to hook people. And we got back to the apartment and we're telling all our roommates, we're like, dude, watch this. We throw a spinning elbow. And then a couple years, like a couple months go by, and I'm competing in jiu-jitsu already. I'm winning some local tournaments. I had some luck at IBJJF. I placed twice there, and
Nice.
then I kept, I kept working with the striking. It's still
Hmm.
not all there, but it's way better than what it was. And
Sure.
I just got confident in my striking, and told myself I was like, I got jujitsu, I got wrestling, and like Spencer Fisher's striking is some of the best the UFC's ever seen. Like if you watch him fight, he's one of the fastest dudes. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of good strikers, and the only reason he'd lose half of his matches is because they would take him down, and he didn't wrestle hard enough a lot of times, or maybe he didn't know as many techniques. But it really like just clicked. I was like, you got
Hmm.
all these skills, you should try it out. And so I want to say last year I was like, I want to do MMA, and then we started training harder, and then we got this
Okay.
fight this year.
The first time you met Spencer, and he's going to watch this, I guarantee you, probably before he goes to bed tonight. um, your first impression of him, did he seem like the celebrity, the town celebrity, like you described him? Did he just seem like a normal guy? What was it like the first time?
I don't want to sound too mean or nothing, but I thought he
No,
was
tell
like
the truth.
I thought he was like a cartoon character. I thought he was
That's awesome.
hilarious. I
He's
was like,
great.
oh my Lord, this is the funniest dude. And I thought he was lying about a lot of things that he was saying. And then, as I kept talking to him, people around town, and then his wife will tell the same stories, and you're like, he ain't lying. He's
Hmm.
he's lived this crazy life, and
Oh man, yeah.
then
He's got some stories. I'm
he's
not even
got some
stories I will never tell.
I
Ever,
will
ever.
never
I got
tell
you,
ever.
Spencer. Ever.
You have to wait till Spencer tells you.
There you go. All right. Let's see. What's something that people don't know about him as a coach? I know he posts some stuff, and people know him personally. If someone was to show up at one of your training sessions and just sit back and watch, what would surprise them about Spencer?
I guess
Is
his
he way
attention
meaner than people think?
his attention to detail is one of the biggest
Okay,
things. Like he doesn't like to
I can
see
see that.
anyone in the room doing a bad rep. Like
Hmm.
and like sometimes, it can get a little annoying, but he's trying to make us perfect. So like I
Hmm.
understand it. Especially if like we're gonna fight, you don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
So like his attention to detail, like he'll repeat things until it's ingrained in you, or maybe he forgot he said it, but like he just wants to make sure that he's showing the right technique for the right circumstance and stuff like that.
Would you say technique is the biggest thing he's drilled into your head since you've been with him? Footwork, maybe. I know
He's taught
Spencer's
me
big on footwork.
Spencer's taught me how I could work harder. Because in
Okay.
wrestling, I thought I would work hard, and then I got out of wrestling, and then I realized how much harder I could actually work with this MMA stuff. Like I'd always pushed it in wrestling, but I never ran, I never sprinted.
Hmm.
But then MMA come along, and now I'm running 3 miles a day, trying to get like 8 to 12 miles in a week, trying to run 3 or 4 sprints. And then I never realized what my body was capable of, I guess. And then
Okay.
he
He's
just
definitely getting
kept
the
pushing
most
it.
out of you then.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I still have more to give, definitely, but we just got to get there, and then
Okay. Um, describe your fighting style in 3 words, if you can.
uh, precision to aggression
Okay.
is the best way I could describe it.
Okay. I like that. Um,
Like I want to be aggressive, but I don't want to be too aggressive. I want to be super
gotcha.
calculated
Okay.
while I'm
That
doing
makes
something.
sense. I understand what you're saying. Uh, do you prefer the chaos of the striking game in MMA, or do you prefer the control of grappling? I mean, obviously you have the wrestling background, but when it comes time to be in the cage, what do you think your go-to is going to be?
I like to establish a distance and figure out like first things I like to do is try to work that jab, get the jab out there, and then figure out that distance. And I mean, what do I like the most? I like right now, I like striking the most, but that could
It's
change a
new.
little
It's
bit.
newer to
Yeah,
you. It's more fun at the moment.
yes, exactly. Because I've been
Okay.
wrestling a lot forever, and then jujitsu I've done for a couple years now, but striking's super new. And
Right.
and whenever you're watching yourself progress, you just want to
Yeah.
keep progressing, and that's how it feels with
Absolutely.
it.
Have you mastered the Superman punch yet?
Oh no,
No.
nowhere
Right on.
close to that one.
What does it feel like knowing that tomorrow night the bell is going to ring and it's going to be go time?
It's relieving, but like scary at the same time. Like
Are you ready to get
I
it
don't.
over with?
Am I ready to get it over with? Yeah. The main thing I was ready to get over with was the weight cut.
How much did you
I,
cut?
we started the camp. I don't know if everyone knows all this information because we were saying I was a
Don't get
25
yourself
and
in trouble.
I don't think it'll be too much to worry about. But I usually walk around at like 55, and
Okay.
then we started the camp, but I was already leaner a little bit just from training harder.
Hmm.
So I probably started at like 49 and we cut down to 38, which originally it was gonna be 35,
Hmm.
135, but we had so many difficulties with like finding an opponent that
Okay.
we did a catch weight at 138.
Gotcha. That's not too bad of a cut.
No, it wasn't. But once I'm out of camp, I'm hoping to pump back up to 55 and put on some more muscle.
You're gonna pull a Patty the Batty.
Yeah,
There we go.
not as bad as him though.
Be 205 in 10 days. That's that
He's
dude's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. He's 25% of his body weight. Uh, all right. How does your opponent match up against you?
So so far, it's looking like a pretty evenly matched. Me and him have like same wrestling credentials.
Okay.
He's been striking. I assume he's been striking about a year, maybe a little less, like me. I think I've been doing jujitsu a lot longer, so my jujitsu is probably going to be better. But it's just my whole thinking is like stop his takedown because I think my striking is going to be better. I think my hands are going to be quicker. And if I can get to pump the jab out there, bop, or if I can just hit him super quick and get him out of there, maybe that's the case. But
What's the reach difference?
it didn't seem like much of a difference. My
Okay.
arms are a little bit longer than my height, or so I don't have a crazy reach by no means, but and he wasn't that much taller than me, so
Gotcha. What's something you bring to the cage that can't be coached?
I think just my mentality. Like I do not want to lose. I don't want to concede any position, or I want to
Gotcha.
be relentless when I'm out there. And I train. I don't train just to win. I train to finish my opponents. That's the
Hmm.
goal, is to finish, and not only finish, but finish fashionably.
Have you visualized the win?
I visualized uh, winning, especially when I'm shadowboxing. I can see things happening, or maybe it's just delusion. You don't know, but I've been visualizing it, and also, before I go to sleep at night, I think about what could go wrong. Everything that could go wrong. Like, what if it doesn't work out in my favor?
That was the next question I was going to ask. Have you, in the unlikely circumstance that you don't pick up the win, have you thought about how that's going to affect you mentally and physically, and how you're going to handle that if it does happen?
I know.
Because everybody loses, as far as I know, except John Jones and Khabib.
Yeah, everyone. Eventually, you gotta take a loss unless you're
Hmm.
just that blessed that, or maybe they just work that hard. I don't know about John Jones if he works that hard, but I don't know. I've never seen him train.
Right. I don't
uh,
think many people have in a few years.
yeah, exactly. But I guess if I were to lose, it would just make me want to get back in the lab harder and work on like did he out condition me? Did it go the distance and I just got tired, or is his wrestling that much better? Do I need to
Right.
focus on the wrestling that much?
So it's something that you probably wouldn't beat yourself up too bad about. You'd be able to move on pretty quickly. I ask because everybody, I think everybody I've interviewed has lost a fight. I think you're the only undefeated fighter I've interviewed. And they all have everyone has a different process for how they handle losses. I've talked to a guy that if he takes a loss for 2 weeks, all he does is hang out in his backyard with his dog. That's all he does. He
Mm.
just hangs out in the yard all day with his dog. There's people that get right back into the gym the next minute. There's people that go on vacation. Uh, how do you think you'll handle that?
Feel like I'd probably take a couple days and then be back in the gym.
Gotcha.
But
That's
either
pretty
way,
cool.
if I win, I feel like I'd take a couple days to get back in the gym.
Right.
Like,
It'd just be a different kind of training session.
yeah, it would be like uh, it'd be completely different. It'd be like I'm losing to this guy already. We got to work 10 times as harder. Or it's like I beat this guy, and my next opponent's probably going to be harder than him, so I
Hmm.
got to train
Absolutely. All right. Tomorrow night when you step into the cage at Aries Fight Series, Fight Night 32. Now I believe it is. What will that moment symbolize for you personally?
to me, the way I see it is like I have a lot of skills I would like to display, and hopefully I'll be able to display them to everybody. It'll be my first like test of like how well my training works.
Gotcha. Since it's the debut, do they still do 3 5-minute rounds?
It's three threes.
Three threes. Okay, I didn't. I figured there was probably some difference. So in a way, would it be nice to go the distance and win from an experience standpoint,
I
or
mean,
would you
yeah,
rather have
but
a 30-second knockout?
I would rather have a finish. I wouldn't like it to go to the judges. That's how I
Okay,
see it. Or,
very nice.
in a wrestling match, you wouldn't want it to go to the scorecard.
Right.
Try to
Okay.
get that, yeah, try to get that tech fall.
Okay. Um, Tomorrow night the bell's gonna ring, and it'll be your moment. Tell the fans and viewers what they can expect to see in the cage.
I think you can expect to see a fun fight no matter what. Like, uh, me and this guy both look athletic. We both look like we've been training, so it'll be a show for sure. And I'm definitely gonna be pouring my heart out into it, like digging deep, and then
Yeah.
maybe we'll be throwing for the fences. That's what I'm hoping for.
There we go. Okay. When the fight's over and you're announced the winner, what's the first thing that's going to be going on in your head? What's your first thought?
I guess make sure. I don't know. I really don't know. Probably just dang.
You
I'm
think it'll be about the next fight? Do you think it'll be career,
probably thinking about the
family?
next fight. Yeah,
Okay.
think about the next guy, or what am I gonna do after tonight?
Gotcha.
Am I just gonna go home and rest, or am I gonna watch the rest of these fights? Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Um, I want to talk about legacy for just a second. I know you're just starting out. I know you're young, and I don't mean anything bad by that. I would give anything to be 21 years old again. Where do you want to go in the sport? How far do you want to take it? What do you hope one day when you're an old man like me, sitting in your rocking chair, sipping on some tea, mumbling to yourself about the fight game? What do you hope to have accomplished?
I'd hope to be like people will say I was one of the best of the best for my time, or
Okay,
because the way I see it is I want to train to beat the best of the best. I don't just want to beat uh,
gotcha,
anybody, or I would like to be able to hang with the best guys in the world.
gotcha.
That's what I want to see.
You're
And
you're
I,
you're not in it for a paycheck. You want to be a world champion.
yeah, like I want to, like the money will come maybe with it, and that will be nice. But
Mhm.
ultimately, just showing my skills and showing my hard work. That's what I want to do.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, as we discussed before we started recording earlier today on the phone, the goal behind these interviews is to reach people who might be struggling right now or feeling broken, or like maybe they're at their own personal rock bottom. Um, if you're comfortable doing it, and you can go as in depth or not in depth as you like, um, you've had things happen to you in your life like we all have that could have derailed your MMA debut tomorrow, could have possibly put you on a path to where you and I wouldn't even be talking right now.
Yeah,
Um, if there's been a time in your life where you were at a rock bottom or felt like giving up or tomorrow wasn't worth it, uh, and you feel comfortable sharing, what was that circumstance and how did you make it out to the other side?
I don't think other than like when I was really young, like in my adulthood or my adolescence, I don't recall ever getting down that low. Just because like I had the wrestling to help with my mentality and everything.
Hmm.
But before I had all of those tools at my exposure, when I was really young, I had we grew up poor, I guess. I mean, we weren't as poor as other people,
Hmm.
but I had family in and out of addiction, and that was the main thing. That's where the money went. We weren't broke,
Gotcha.
but the money did not go to where it needed to go to.
Hmm.
So we were broke because money went to drugs. And I guess growing up, I would get bullied for that at middle school, or probably up until eighth grade, I was picked on. And then we never ate properly, so I was chunky, and people would make fun of things like that,
Hmm.
or just like wearing the same clothes I wore last year, or wearing the same shoes over and over, and people will make fun of things like that, and it always made me super sad. Like I would go home and I would be like, what is the point in all of this? Why would I want to go to school if they're just going to be rude to me? And that's probably also where I started acting bad, worse. I miss because I was just like, F it, it doesn't matter. But I also had friends in school. But then there's
Hmm.
just some people who like to give everyone a hard time,
Yeah.
and they would, you know, because they were better or whatnot. And I don't know. I remember, I guess this is the saddest I'd been. I don't know what happened. I was really like upset with my mom, and I was just like, I'll kill myself. And I was super young, and I went and like I tied a belt around my neck, and I was trying to hang myself, and my mom wouldn't let me,
Oh,
obviously.
good job,
And
mom.
then, and
Thank
then,
you.
thank you, mom. Yeah. And
Damn,
then I
bro.
guess that's the lowest I had been. Uh, Technically, I was really young, and it's just like probably too much going on for a kid. Like they shouldn't have to go through everything that I went through. I feel like,
What what does this isn't a question I have written down. This is something that just popped into my head. I'm trying. I'm in my mind. I'm picturing you and the belt and your mom and some kind of struggle going on, and then that ending and things calming down. What does like 2 hours after that look like? What does the day after something like that look like? Because that's not the type of situation to where it's like, okay, are we good, mom? Are we good, son? Okay, we'll move on with life. Like that
well,
impacts things. So what happens after that?
for a while, I guess I remember in my household we like would argue with my mom and stuff a lot. Like I love her to death, but man, it's crazy growing up. That's just the way it is. And she was young
Gotcha.
too, making mistakes. And I guess I just wasn't happy with either of my parents for a long time. And then that's pretty much how it went. Like I
Gotcha.
couldn't, and then I guess at school my behavior probably worsened because I was like, I don't even want to be alive. I don't even want to be here. You know, like
Gotcha.
why do I care about some grade that means nothing to me? That's made up by some individual. You
Sure.
know,
They don't know me. They don't know my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that, and it's a bad mindset to get into. It's like
I totally understand that mindset, man.
they might actually understand what you're going through, and all you have to do is talk about it, and then they can
Yeah.
help you.
If you make a big enough stink, they'll have to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that absolutely. Um, in what ways has fighting or people involved in it been supportive of you, other than your coach? Who do you have in your life that's one of your biggest fans?
I guess my grandma, my sisters, and they're definitely my biggest fans.
Okay.
Uh,
Man, I love your grandma. Grandmas are the best people on planet Earth. My oldest daughter is named after my grandmother. When I was a young man getting into trouble, my grandmother was the only person that cared about me. Love those grandmas.
my mom also supports in everything I do.
That's
Like
great.
she supports everything I do. My sisters they're probably my biggest fans right there. It's like when I'm
That's
doing
great.
something, they want to be there,
They
and
got tickets
they
for the show
really root me
tomorrow.
on. Yeah,
Awesome,
the
awesome. You'll
whole
have a little
family
fan
does.
section. That's
Yeah,
great. Awesome, brother. Where do you see yourself in the sport in say 2 years?
I don't know.
Realistically, not dreaming.
Realistically, I'd like to be in I guess like a better organization, like a more professional organization,
A
maybe.
regional show.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
Let's not
Yeah, I
shoot too
definitely
high.
think so. 2 years you could be 7-8-0.
Yeah, you never know.
That's you could be contender series worthy at that point.
Yeah,
All right. Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
I do believe everything happens for a reason. That's
Okay.
actually funny. I
Why is
think
that?
like uh I don't know. This is completely not fight related,
No,
but
you're fine.
I
We're just having
remember
a
in high school.
conversation, buddy. You can
In
say
high
whatever
school,
you want.
okay. In high school, I had this huge crush on this girl, and then
Hmm.
I never had the confidence to like ask her out formally or nothing like that. We would talk
Hmm.
and hang out, and I'd bring her food, and she'd eat it and whatnot. And I
Yep.
never like asked her out or nothing like that. I just never, because I thought like I'm just a stupid idiot. She's smart and pretty. She wouldn't be with me. And then uh, our senior year comes around, and I guess I'm getting attention from other girls, and we kind of quit talking. And she got a boyfriend with this one dude. And I remember saying to myself like, they ain't got nothing in common. Like that won't last. And then they had broken up, and I like this is actually recently. And I was talking to her, and I asked her out finally after years of liking her,
Hmm.
and she said yes, and I was just like, everything happens. I was like,
Yep.
probably we didn't get together in high school because I was probably not mature enough or nothing like something like that. And hopefully, I'm this girl. I'm in it for longer, and I really like her.
Awesome, man. Uh, let's see here. How do you want fans to feel when they watch you fight?
I want them to be excited to see me fight. Yeah, oh,
Okay.
that's Adam. I know him. I'd like to see him whoop some ass.
Yeah.
Or I know that boy's gonna throw.
Did you see his last fight?
Yeah, exactly. Did you see
Exactly.
his last fight?
How do you stay grounded and focused?
Just being consistent. Like it's easy to get unfocused, but with the right support,
Hmm.
people will make sure they'll hold you accountable. Like
Yeah,
essentially, like
for
and
sure.
then you're if you're not being as you're not training as much as you should, like your weaknesses will show in the training room when you come back. So like
Hmm.
my competitiveness also helps me stay focused a lot of times because I want to see I want to see my teammates do great and everything, but when
Hmm.
they start catching up to me, I'm like, all right, I gotta put my grind back on. This guy's
Yep.
catching up. Or like when I see, I guess just stuff on social media, like people doing good things, it makes me want to get up. I'm like, ah, he
Yeah.
did that. He did that. That's a person. Then I can do
Yeah.
it. If another human could do it, then why can't I? And it's a
Hmm.
complete 360 from how I used to think, you know, or
That's
a
great.
180 technically.
Do you have a walkout song picked for tomorrow night?
Yeah.
What is it? Or is it a secret?
Uh,
I don't want to give it away if it's a secret.
oh no, it's fine. The Boss by James Brown.
Dustin Poirier.
Well,
Are you a fan?
I didn't even know Dustin Poirier had used that song.
Okay.
I just it was originally going to be God's Gonna Cut You Down for Spencer because
Okay.
and I listened to that all the time in wrestling. But then I heard that song and I was like, no, I gotta change it. The boss paid the cost to be the boss. Blah, blah,
That's
blah.
awesome.
Dun, dun,
Good stuff.
dun, dun.
Okay, I like to ask everybody this. We're going to go with MMA because that's what you're in. I want to know what your personal Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters are. Tell me the top four greatest, not personal favorites, the four greatest MMA fighters in history.
In MMA history, okay, well, we gotta get the obvious ones out of there. So Demetrius
There we go.
Johnson, he's up there.
Hmm.
That's my number one because he never got
Okay.
caught cheating. He never got caught cheating or nothing like that. And all the rest are in order. I guess it'll go John Jones, and then I think GSP was really skilled and very good.
Hmm.
And then Is it Emelianenko? Is that his name?
Fedor?
Russian Fedor. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fedor Emelianenko. That guy.
Okay.
That guy knew
Wow.
how to fight anyone, like any
Yeah.
style, and he wouldn't back down for nobody.
And he was a middleweight.
Yeah,
Let's
and
be
he'd fight
honest. He was a middleweight.
anyone, and he would
Yeah.
fight anybody. He did not
Yeah.
care. That's who I think was the best technically, like all time, because like there's
Hmm.
no weight classes, and he didn't care. He'd throw bombs. Like
Yeah.
he's fast first, and you wouldn't expect him to be fast because
Hmm.
of his build, I guess. But then like
Yeah.
he's shooting a rocket.
That's what I mean. He's basically, if he would have cut weight or really, put much into his physique, he could have fought at 185. He
Yeah.
was a small heavyweight, a
Hmm.
small chubby. No offense, Fedor, heavyweight. Um, they don't. You can't find them anymore because time and rules and laws. But there used to be. I don't know if you know anything about Fedor's brother Alexander. When
Heard
they were
about him.
little, okay, when they were little kids, they would go bear hunting, and there used to be footage of this online. You won't be able to find it, like I said. But what they would do is they would throw bait down under a tree, and they would duct tape giant knives to their hands like this, and they would go up on the tree branch and sit and wait. And when the bear would come down to eat the food underneath them, they would jump out of the trees and
Kill the bear.
kill the bear.
Those are some tough people, dude.
What? Yeah, I saw it.
They're
Yeah, Fedor
insane.
has to be on that list.
Yeah, in my opinion, Fedor's on that list. If you don't have Fedor, then you haven't done enough MMA diving.
Yeah, exactly. What is something you might say to another up and coming young fighter if they were looking for advice?
Uh, like they're already fighting.
Yeah, maybe they have their debuts in 3 months, or maybe they're 16 years old and looking to get into MMA or jujitsu or wrestling. What would you tell them about your experience and whether or not they should go for it?
Uh, just do it. But if you're going to fight, you have to be aware of what can happen. Like you obviously don't want to think about it, but it's reality, and
Hmm.
like you have to be very aware of it. But also, you have to have confidence in your abilities. So I would recommend like train hard, train so hard that you believe that you can beat anyone in front of you.
Hmm.
Like, and if you haven't trained that hard, then maybe you should train a little bit more because that's how hard I train. I train, and it might be delusion because I know I'm a smaller guy and whatnot, but I train to think I could beat anybody up.
Yeah, beat the best on your worst day. That's how you should train.
Yeah.
Okay. These next questions are kind of goofy. They're kind of pick one or the other and explain why. The goal behind these is to make the professional face smasher yourself more relatable to normal guys like myself, my coworker, my next door neighbor. These questions are designed to where half the people watching, every single one of them, are going to say, "Yep, me too." So my first one, I know you're from North Carolina. I know barbecue is super popular there. What do you prefer, brisket or pulled pork?
Pulled pork.
Okay, nice. Uh, it's game day. Who do you root harder for, Blue Devils or Tar Heels?
Blue Devils.
Is that basketball and football, or just basketball? Does that matter?
I never paid attention to college
Okay,
football to begin with, so
okay,
only basketball.
all right. Am I more likely to see you drinking a can of Monster or a cup of coffee?
Probably now a cup of coffee back in the day a monster, but
Your
back in my
kidneys,
day
your
when I was a
kidneys feel better
monster.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good, but they're so bad for you. I'm
Yeah,
sitting here
I
drinking
remember
one right now.
what I used to drink those Reigns, the orange cream soda one, right before I
Dude,
worked all the time. Those are good. Those are
they're
really
the
good.
best out there, brother. Yeah, that's
I
so
would
awesome.
one
You
time,
think things happen for a reason?
yeah, what, dude, you want to hear something crazy? Like
Yeah, go for it.
about things happen for a reason? So way back before I was born, Spitzer and his cousin Micah
Hmm.
would sneak out and then sneak my auntie Harmony out in like the summer when they were like 13 and 14.
Oh wow.
I thought that was crazy because me and him were talking one day, and I can't remember. He asked me what my dad's name was because I told him like something, and he goes,
Hmm.
"Did your dad ever?" I told him my dad's name was Chris Cotterman, rest in peace. And then he said, "Did he ever go by N or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, he went by N, Christopher N. Cotterman." And he goes, "Did he have a sister with black hair?" I was like, "Yeah, he did." And he goes, "What was her name?" I was like, "Her name was Katie." Or he's like, "Katie?" I feel like I remember that. I feel like I remember that. And he hit up his cousin Micah, and
Hmm.
Micah said, "Yeah, we did used to hang out with a girl named Katie." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna message my auntie Katie." And she said they hung out, or
Wow.
Micah was Katie's boyfriend one summer, and they would hang out all summer long. And I
Wow.
just thought,
Small
wow,
world.
how, yeah, full circle like that. What a small world. Everything
That's
happens
awesome.
for a reason.
That's right. That's right, man. That's a great one. Uh, what's your favorite animal at the zoo?
The zoo, I like giraffes at the zoo because you get to feed them.
Yeah, those things are so awesome. I mean, you see them on TV and you're like, oh, they're huge. You're standing next to a tree and they're the same size. See them one up close in person. I could do that every day for a year, and on day 365, still be amazed. That's
Yeah,
a that's a great one.
it's beautiful. Like whatever anyone wants to call it, I call it God's work, the universe work, whatever it is. It's
Hmm. Awesome. All right. What's your favorite Rocky movie?
probably the original Rocky.
First one,
Also, whichever one he beats the Russian up, I like
number four. Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right. This is a goofy question, but I ask everyone because it matters and everyone has a preference. At home, in your bathroom, does the toilet paper go over the roll or under?
I never thought about that.
Or do you
Probably,
just hope to have it within reach? It doesn't matter.
I hope to have the toilet paper within reach. Yeah.
There we go. Quite a few people have said that.
Because you ever,
That's a good one.
like when we were young and we would get too broke to the point we didn't have toilet paper, you'd really wish you had some toilet
Yep.
paper.
That's awesome. Okay. Both in their prime, who wins, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Oh, Mike Tyson. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Ali, but Mike Tyson's gonna knock you out.
Okay. I got you. Again,
But
both in their prime. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Tyson, his pressure would just be too much for Muhammad. Like Muhammad loves to dance around,
Hmm.
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But man, Mike Tyson's marching towards you. He's the butterfly killer.
Right on. Okay. Again, both in their prime. Who wins, GSP or Khabib?
uh, that one's always hard to say. But I
Hmm.
think Khabib just because of his style. Like I would want to say GSP, but I don't think. I think there's only like one guy in the UFC that was defending Khabib's takedowns really good. And then when he did that, Khabib just bam takedowns.
Yeah.
So I don't know. GSP's really good, so he could time something on one of Khabib's takedowns. And that's the difference between Khabib and GSP is you could argue GSP had fought like tougher opponents
Hmm.
and whatnot, but
I think
hell,
Khabib
even
has more finishing ability once the fight
yeah,
gets to the ground than GSP did.
yeah, that's the thing GSP would have to worry about is if I will say Khabib because if he gets him down one time, he could maul him
Hmm.
and really
Yep.
like get to a submission.
Yep. I agree. Okay. Does pineapple belong on pizza? No.
I don't think it does. Other people, I've had it. I've had certain pizzas with pineapple on it, and it wasn't so bad. But to me, it's just off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
I've had it a few times. First of all, it has to be tiny pieces, not these great big gigantic chunks. It has to be tiny pieces, and it has to be some sort of like barbecue chicken or barbecue pork pizza. You can't throw pineapple on a pepperoni. None of that Canadian bacon, smoke flavor mixed with fruit. It's no good.
I
Alrighty,
agree. It ain't right.
gotcha. Okay, what do you like better, dogs or cats?
I like dogs, but I like cats too. Like but
Okay,
I prefer a dog because they seem a little bit more loyal.
gotcha. Do you have one at home?
I have two dogs.
Nice. What do you got?
I have a blue tick and a blue heeler.
Nice, smart dogs. Those are
The
both.
blue heeler,
Are they not?
the blue heeler is very smart. She is
Okay,
like the best dog. I know everyone
hmm
says that about their dog, but my dog
right.
is the best dog I could ask for. And the blue tick, he's a puppy. I'm still working with him, but man,
He'll get
he.
there.
I think the issue is they're both a one-person dog, and
Oh,
they want the attention from the one, which is me. But I had to. They're gonna have to learn like you both need to get the attention
you
because like
know, if you go to Walmart, they've got those cheap hang on a back of a door, like half length mirrors for like $5 or $6. You just go buy a handful of those and stick them everywhere. So there's multiple use, so that the dogs will always
it
have one to go for. They'll make all the difference in the world.
would that'd be funny.
Yeah, and
There,
even if it didn't, it'd be fun to watch for a minute.
there was one time my dogs are smarter than this, but I had a dog that was not smart at all. It's just a mutt, and it would stand in front of the mirror barking for hours
At
at
itself,
itself. Yeah, and then
wow,
my dogs now they just look and then they realize like, oh,
they got it figured
it's
out.
yeah, they move on, and I thought that's so funny how like a breed there is a difference in
Sure,
intelligence breed to breed.
absolutely. All right, the last one of these questions. You have to go commit a bank robbery, and you've got to take two people with you, a gunman and a getaway driver. Who are you taking?
Probably a couple of my friends. I
All
don't
right,
want
let's
to
hear
throw 'em
about it.
under the bus,
No,
but
this is a hypothetical. This isn't even allegedly. This is just make believe.
okay, okay.
Who's a
Who am
good
I
shot
taking?
and who's a good driver?
All right, all right. Well, if we're doing a bank robbery, I don't want any deaths. I just want to get in, get out with the money. I've
Right?
thought of this a couple times. No,
Okay.
I haven't. Only in Minecraft have I thought of this.
Sure, like everybody
but
does.
but who would I take? I'd be the mastermind behind this, definitely.
hmm
The strategist. I need a getaway driver.
hmm One getaway driver, one gunman.
Who is my getaway driver? I'm trying to think. Okay, probably my friend Masai, because
Okay.
he's like he knows how to drive fast. I've seen him drive fast, and
Okay.
he's a. I haven't seen him shoot a gun, so I ain't letting him shoot. And then
Right on.
my shooter is gonna be my friend Juice, because he's crazy, and I know he's a good shot. Like
There we go.
I
He'll
know
hold
he's
it
a good
down while
shot.
you grab the cash.
And yeah, yeah. But I'll have to tell him, hey, don't effing shoot anybody.
That's great, man. For anybody watching right now who needs to hear something positive, a pick me up, what is your message to those out there struggling?
Honestly, just sometimes it is hard just to get up. I've been there, but whatever it takes, just find something that gives you value. Like,
hmm
if a lot of times people get sad because they're constantly looking for fulfillment, and then they'll do things that never bring any fulfillment into their life. So you have to find something that is actually good and something that gives back to you as much as you put in. So just, just keep on searching, and then like something will come to you.
That's an awesome answer from anyone, let alone someone your age, as young as you are. I really respect that answer. That was a good one.
Hey,
Um, what's something that you really enjoy? Maybe a hobby or a show or a food, anything that you really enjoy that people don't know
about me or just
about you. Yeah.
I really enjoy to write. Not many people know I like to write a lot.
Okay.
I
That's
like to
awesome.
write.
What do you enjoy writing?
Like I like to rhyme things. So
Okay.
maybe I'll think I can make a song. Sometimes I may try to write down a song or a poem,
There we go.
which I know I could write a poem. Or honestly, throughout middle school and high school, I try and write books because I
That's
thought they
awesome.
were fun. I just
Well,
don't like being told what to write about.
gotcha. My oldest daughter writes, I don't know, I guess you could call them books, 60 to 80 pages, just fiction stuff, just
That's a
out of her
talent.
mind. Yeah, that's amazing. That's
That
awesome.
like
That you,
the
keep doing that, man. No matter how good you get, if you're the UFC champion of the world, keep writing.
Yeah, a lot of people. I feel like what happens in school is it never happened to me because I never paid enough attention. But they try to uh they try to get rid of your imagination in school, and then a lot of people get stuck thinking
Hmm.
like these day to day things, like these basic things that anyone can do. But in my head, it's like the higher you set your goals, the more likely you are to accomplish these things.
Yeah.
Because it's like when I wrestled in high school, I didn't want to be a conference champion. I want to be the state champion.
Hmm.
I want to be a national champion, which I knew after state, after a couple of runs at state, I realized I probably wasn't going to be a national champion. But I kept driving and
Hmm.
I competed at state because I had set my goal to
Yeah.
make it to win state. And when I started wrestling, no one in middle school would have thought I would ever even made it to the state tournament, let alone place or make it multiple times.
Hmm. That's awesome. What is the best way for fans and friends of yours to keep up with you these days and maybe watch your fight? Is it going to be online?
Yeah, the fight will be online. I keep forgetting where the pay-per-view is. It's probably posted on Aries.
Okay. I'm sure it is.
But if anyone wants to contact me, if you have my number, you can shoot me a text. Just let me know who you are because I may have forgotten. And then
Gotcha.
I have social medias, Facebook, Instagram, things like that.
Okay. I am out of written down questions, Adam. Is there anyone you'd maybe like to shout out, say hi to, say thank you to before we hop off here?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to you for having me, and
Absolutely, man.
thanks to I guess
We
I
got to
will
thank
want to
Spencer
say
for hooking it up.
thanks Spencer for hooking me up, and then anyone who knows me, thanks for watching, and anyone who's watching, thanks for watching. This is fun.
Absolutely.
I ain't never been interviewed like this.
Well, hopefully it didn't feel like I was you're just pressing you with a bunch of questions. I try to have some conversations with people before we interview. It doesn't always work out, but I think it helps to for me to talk to you and you to talk to me before we hit record. What I'll do is as soon as we get off of here, I will upload this to YouTube. The process takes maybe 30 minutes or so, about a minute per upload as we recorded. As soon as it gets up there, I will send you a copy if you want to watch it, check it out. For any reason you don't like it, let me know. I'll take it down. I feel like at this point we've talked enough. I consider you a friend, man. I hope you consider me one as well.
Yes,
I look
sir.
forward to following your career. I look forward to seeing your hand raised tomorrow night, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
All right.